There's new polling data out on road funding. Big topic around the whole state, actually. Joining us now from Michigan Infrastructure and Transportation Association, Executive Director therein. Been on with us before, Rob Coppersmith. Hiya, Rob. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Mike. How are
you? You know what? I'm okay. I'm dodging potholes that time of year. I don't care what state you're in or what part of the state you're in. Tell me about this new polling data. The headline I got was there's overwhelming voter support for road funding plans. I can imagine that because basically we want better roads. Break this down for me.
Yeah. Well, it's just interesting. We decided that, when you're talking to legislative types downtown, they want everything to be fact-based, and we just thought it would be helpful for those that have to make tough decisions about funding and fixing our roads to understand how the public feels about it. So we did a short poll and looked at a few components, but the vast majority of people, 87% of them, said they want some sort of long-term funding plan to get these damn roads fixed. So I think that's the key takeaway, and I think the last time we talked, you talked about Republican or Democratic roads, and I think that should take that argument away, that the people of the state of Michigan want to put us on a path to fix this infrastructure and keep this state humming. So we think it's good information, and it's something that hopefully will convince the powers that be downtown to keep moving on this issue and get us where we need to be.
Rob, let's get into, I'm not a big numbers guy, especially in the morning. People decipher a whole bunch of numbers. We got enough of that with tariffs and stuff like that going on. But with this polling data, does it show where people want the money to come from? We all want better roads. Yep, that's a no-brainer. What about gas tax and like that?
Yeah, so it shows that there's support for. Currently, we have 6% sales tax on our gas, which is one of, I think, 5 states now that do that. And there's a lot of support for removing that sales tax and then doing a equivalent raise in the gas tax, and that would generate $1.1 billion or $1 billion, depending on who's doing the math, anywhere from 800 million to 1.1 billion. It's still a declining revenue source because cars are getting better mileage, but it would certainly be a major component. And I think, the House plan supports that idea, and some of the information the governor's put out supports that idea too. So I think that would be certainly an area where we can build on some commonality.
Do you get into EVs as far as who should pay what? Because EVs, these electric vehicles with those batteries, they're heavier. I don't know what the data is on. Do they do more damage? It seems to me they would, but who knows? Maybe you have that number.
It's heavier, and there's going to be a lot of them at some point. There was a question related to that and funding fairness on electric vehicles, and 62% of the public said, they should pay their fair share. I think a missing component here is that there's going to be a lot of vehicles that both have gas and electric, and so there's a component there that has to be addressed at some point. To me, that's probably the way to the future. Like, if you're ever going to get me in an electric car, it's going to have some gas backup if I want to get where I need to go.
Yeah, no, so, I totally am. I'm on board with you, and I'll carpool with you whenever, Rob. If you're doing the hybrid. Buddy, come on. Rob Coppersmith is the executive director at MITA, and they did this poll, and the new data is out. How does it break down? How do your fellow Michiganders feel about who should pay for what and the roads and etc. This is more than just, that stupid pothole that one road is just so it's got this, I got a swerve on this one area. I know that. This goes beyond that. I know that some of this polling data reflects this comes down to an economic, like jobs sort of thing. This comes to economic growth. But tie those ends together for us, Rob.
Yeah. So the economic competition part of it, 77% support that Michigan is already losing business in investments to other states based on, the condition of our roads. Because if you can locate a business in a state that you don't have to deal with some of this infrastructure issues, it's a no-brainer. And so we need to make Michigan attractive to business and retaining business and attracting business. And one way to do that is to have, good infrastructure that supports that type of economy. So people a lot smarter than me have crunched numbers on it, but, it is a factor. Another factor is that we simply have the workforce right now because of the bonding program to perform work at a higher level in the state of Michigan. And those people will also leave the state for other jobs. I think we've touched on this before, but, if you're an excavator operator or running a paving machine, you typically don't go to another industry. You go to another region that can support that kind of job that you know well and probably love. So anyhow, there's just a lot of reasons to do this economically, and I think the polling is just overwhelming. I mean, it's 80% of the people have a perception that our roads are, in terrible crap. 87% want our government to do something about it. I mean, how often do you get people to say, yes, please fix this, and we're willing to spend money to do it? So, that's a rarity.
Well, you can see this.
Yeah, we want it fixed, but we don't want to do anything to pay for it.
Right. Everybody wants everything, but not out of my pocket. We're up on time, Rob. We got to get going.
Point on this, and we need to really convince our elected officials to do that, and maybe build on the House plan, or have the Senate support it, but or come back with an alternate, and just we're really reaching critical mass on this.
Rob Coppersmith, Executive Director at MITA. Visit them, Michigan Infrastructure and Transportation Association. You can find this whole thing on that website. Rob, we are really up on time. We got to get going. We'll talk to you another time. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thanks, Mike.